It's the China COVID mayhem escalating by the day as citizens are protesting against stringent COVID norms imposed by the government. A wave of civil disobedience is unprecedented in mainland China since President Xi Jinping assumed power a decade ago. Frustration is mounting over his signature zero COVID policy nearly 3 years into the pandemic. In Shanghai, hundreds of demonstrators and police clashed in Sunday night as protests over China's stringent COVID restrictions flared for a third day and spread to several cities. In the central city of Wuhan, where the pandemic began 3 years ago, videos on social media showed hundreds of residents taking to the streets, smashing through metal barricade, overturning the COVID testing tent and demanding to end the lockdown. So this, remember, has been happening in the past few weeks. These are protests against China's restrictive COVID-19 measures that flared up the country after a deadly fire in Xinjiang killed about 10 people. Protesters are claiming that strict COVID curbs hampered the rescue operation. The public anger against Chinese President Xi Jinping's strict measures is raging Shanghai as protesters are calling for Chinese leader to now step down.
China reported a record number of COVID-19 infections on Thursday. 31,444 new local cases on Wednesday, breaking the previous high set on April 13th, when commercial hub Shanghai was in a lockdown that would last 2 months. Now cities nationwide are imposing localized lockdowns, mass testing and other curbs that are darkening the outlook for the world's second largest economy. The streets of Chaoyang, the capital's most populous district, have been increasingly empty this week. Sanlitun, a high-end shopping area, was nearly silent on Thursday, but for the whirring of the e-bikes of delivery riders ferrying meals for those working from home. The surge in infections is diminishing investors' hopes that China will soon ease the rigid zero-COVID policy that, alongside a downturn in the property market, is battering the economy. It's been nearly 3 years since the pandemic emerged in the central city of Wuhan. The restrictions have also exacted a toll on China's increasingly frustrated residents, like this Beijing local.
Only by easing the COVID-19 restrictions can people live a normal life. Otherwise, everything's halted. How many people have the savings to support them if things continually stay halted? And even if you have money to stay at home every day, that's not true living. That's lingering on the last breath of air.
While official infection tallies are low by global standards, China tries to stamp out every infection chain, making it a global outlier. China's leadership has stuck by its zero-COVID policy, which includes some of the strictest restrictions in the world, saying it is necessary to save lives and prevent the medical system from being overwhelmed. Factory output has taken a hit from the measures, including the world's biggest iPhone plant, which has been rocked by violent clashes between workers and security personnel in a rare show of dissent. Acknowledging the pressure on the economy, the cabinet said China would use timely cuts in bank cash reserves and other monetary policy tools to make sure there is enough liquidity, state media reported on Wednesday.